Hi there. Good morning, Clocking the Gallop, folks. It's Saturday morning. It is after 8 o'clock. And once again, we're faced with some more poor news. We were very hopeful that racing would go ahead today out at Turffontein with an 11 race card, whilst it was moved from the inside track to the stand side track. All our tails were up and we were ready to get going off to the track today. But shortly before 8 o'clock, about half an hour or so ago, Lyall Cooper, the news filtered through that there was more overnight rain, and that just put an end to the day's racing. They are not going ahead today, and the race meeting moved to Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, and the worst thing is we've studied all three cards in great depth. I think between you and I, we spent about 20 hours on this card because there's 11 races.
Yeah.
The good news about this card is it stays for Wednesday, so that's good news.
Right. Yeah, it stays for Wednesday.
And it will be nice to have a Wednesday night race meeting, but of course there's always a rain issue. This is February, but we have to do this, and looking forward to next week because now it's a very busy week.
It's a huge week for us too, because we've got our direct line, and we wanted to just remind people that they've got until Friday to register for the direct line. I'm going to put up that slide now. If those of you that might not have heard what the direct line is, and if you do have any snide remarks, rather keep them to yourself because they're just going to be deleted. There are a few people out there that are just naysayers, and they continue to come and annoy me by coming onto our channel. But those people that are interested, you've got the Clocking the Gallop direct line starting on Friday and ending on Monday. There are 4 race meetings in total. You're basically paying just over 60 Rand for those individual meetings, and you can join by next Friday, the 24th of February. Our whole team is responsible for putting the sheets of information together, and you have to deposit your money in by Friday midday. However, if you choose to just go for the Derby meeting on Saturday through to Sunday and Monday, you will still pay the same amount, but you'll miss out on the Friday activity. You can still pay on Saturday morning. There are the banking details. It is a First National Bank current account. The number is 6290552831. The branch code is 250655. And please use your surname and your mobile number as your reference. Please also send us your proof of payment so you don't get lost in the ether by sending us that proof to our email address, clockingthegallop, one word, @gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 079-390-5747 and tell us how you'd like us to send that information through. Do you want it sent via email, or do you want it sent via WhatsApp? And you'll get our Derby direct bundle of selections from Friday to Monday coming up this week. Now, just whilst we leave this up for a few more seconds, Lyall, these discussions that we have amongst the team, I'd like you to just take our followers into a bit of depth into how that all works out. I mean, there was the particular case in point when the King's Plate one was being done, and we use that as a reference now because it is indicative of a teamwork getting together. However, we can't always be right. In that particular discussion, I said to everyone, guys, what about El Mutana? And you can take it up from there.
No, we laughed at you, Nico. We said to you, are you smoking your socks? But like you said, but between the 5 of us, we in every race we find a horse that has a chance of winning, and it's often a very big price. And by the time that person's finished talking, we actually agree. So we do add that horse into our play, and they often do come through. I know you and I have had a lot of these 14 to 25 to 1s that actually are the best weighted horse in the race, and they come through and run a really good race. So, and the team's fantastic. I mean, it's the experience is phenomenal, and it's been a pleasure being part of it.
And basically, you mentioned something very interesting there. Whilst we still are very, very long in the tooth in the game, and a lot of us are, we're still learning, strangely enough, because you might pick up something that I haven't. Mention it to me, and we talk each other into horses. And sometimes it's for the betterment, and that is what we're trying to do for the public out there. Again, I bring up a case in point yesterday in Gqeberha when there was racing.
Yeah.
obviously have been calling quite a bit in the Eastern Cape. And the last two meetings back, I called a horse called Sylvia Louise. She ran about 7 lengths back, but I didn't think she was ridden too well. And I said, she next time for me is a possibility. You keep that up here. And I mentioned it on the show with MX yesterday, when I did the show with MX yesterday, saying, please don't leave this horse out, because it's a lot better than its last run. And it was 40 to 1, I think, and it ran third. So these kind of things we can pick up and we can impart them to the general public out there, which is what we're out there to do.
And of course, as you mentioned in our last show, you and I did as well, the betting, because of our experience and our sort of right in the mix knowledge, the betting often is wrong, and we're quite quick to pick that up. So I think that's nice value for the punters as well.
Yeah. Well, strangely enough, you say that. I was looking at some of the betting for today. We'll obviously pick this up on Wednesday. But the one race win, because you did send me through your numbers, and the one race was uncanny. There were 3 horses that you mentioned and 3 that I mentioned. I'm just trying to find out which race it was, Lyall, because I just want to give people a sneak preview into maybe what we're doing on Wednesday. There were 3 numbers that you put in. They were my exact 3.
Could it be race 8, maybe?
Let me just check and see. Was it not race 1, 2? Was it not race 3?
Let's have a look.
No, well, that's too easy anyway. It was actually race 3. It was. I chose 3 numbers, and those were the exact 3 numbers.
Yes.
There's another particularly difficult race that you went for 3 numbers, and they were
race 4, maybe. No.
3, 4, 5. Was it 6? Race 6.
Race 6, maybe, because there were 3 Waruffies I found there.
Yeah, could have been race 6, and then race 8. I think it might have been race 8 too. Race 8, I definitely like those 2 fillies you liked. Both Homely Girl and Sprinkles. I thought both coming back from a bit of a break. Both were nicely weighted, and you know what? The point is, we're not put off by the betting. Some people look at the betting and base their bets based on the betting.
Correct.
I don't know how people still do that in this day and age. I really don't.
In that race, as you're saying, that race 8, Homely Girl wasn't even in the betting, I don't think.
Yeah.
Or she was certainly quite high in the betting, and she holds half the field.
I rated her the horse to beat. What price was she as a matter of interest? Because I haven't even looked.
I actually don't know. I didn't put prices in there.
I'm going to look now and see what price she was, unless they've taken it off the system.
And Sprinkles.
I'll tell you now when I go there. But that's what we mean. We bounce off all this knowledge of ours, and we somehow get to some sort of agreement whereby we send that information out. And when we send that information out, you can be rest assured that information is the team's agreement. Some people may go out kicking and screaming, but whatever we put down on the sheet is eventually what our selections are. So the betting in that race was Homely Girl was 5 to 1, and Sprinkles was 8 to 1. So
there we go. Very good value. What was Forever Mine as a matter of interest, Nico?
Forever Mine was 4 to 1.
It cannot win. It's held on numerous levels.
But this is your horse that you like. But this is your horse that you think is a great looking horse.
I love Forever Mine, Nico.
Yeah.
But in this race here, he is so badly in here. I mean, 4 to 1, I'd brass him in my top 5.
Yeah. Fun if I like the card. I thought there was a lot of value to be had on the card, but we're going to have to defer it till Wednesday when we'll come back and discuss it. So suffice to say, Lyall, it's a busy week ahead. We've got racing locally Tuesday and Thursday, now on Wednesday, and then again on Sunday, which is part of the direct line. And then the big Derby Day meeting, which I want to touch on very quickly. The Cape Derby is the last of the Cape summer season meetings on Saturday. Charles Dickens comes back to the track after his performance in the King's Plate. I personally don't see him losing. Have you had a chance to have a look at the field that he's up against?
I have. Obviously, he's got some opposition there, but I still think he's the real deal. I mean, in that King's Plate you mentioned, he had Jet Dark, what, a length and a half behind him. He's a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the real deal. I do think he is.
Okay, so I think he's as short as 4 or 5 to 10, and maybe even shorter come race time. But
he's 4 to 10.
He's 4-10, yeah. So anyway, he's the horse to beat there. Lyall, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to take much more of your Saturday. Now that we've got the day off, I was due to commentate. You were due to present. We'll be back there on Wednesday and pick up at the 11 races at Turffontein with new times, which I think will be disseminated by Monday. We should have those times out. But I think it does stay now on the stand side track, if I'm correct, because that's where the lights are. That's where the lights are.
Correct.
They can't race with the lights.
Looking forward to
all the
week.
best. Just one more appeal to everyone to join the direct line. You've got until Friday to do so. You've got the whole week to think about it and pay your 250 Rand into our bank account. We're looking forward to hearing from you, from Lyall Cooper and myself, Nico Kritsiotis. Thanks. Have a great weekend. And we'll speak to you again soon. By the way, we've got more tips for you tomorrow. There is racing down in KwaZulu-Natal. The Ghost Rider will be busy at work as we speak, doing his selections for tomorrow. So make sure you join us there. From all of us at in Joburg, bye-bye and have a good weekend.